All right, deep divers, you ready for this? We're going deep on CNN, their coverage of Trump, specifically what Charlamagne, that god, had to say about it. Think like media criticism, but make it election season drama.
Mm.
Our source, the Daily Beast, they had this article recently, and Charlamagne did not hold back, let me tell you.
Oh, yeah, this is a good time to be looking at the media, right? With the election getting closer.
100%. And Charlamagne's argument basically is that CNN's missing the big picture,
Mm.
with Trump. They get caught up in the sideshows. And he even says they're normalizing his behavior instead of focusing on what really matters.
Yeah, that word normalizing, that's important. Like, when we see something extreme over and over, does it start to seem less shocking?
Right, right. It's like, what's that saying? If you yell loud enough for long enough, people just tune it out.
That's it. And that's the scary part. If we get used to outrageous stuff, we might start thinking it's normal. And that's bad news for our democracy.
Charlamagne, he gives this example, right? A CNN anchor talking about a Trump rally at Madison Square Garden, like it was no big deal.
Mm-hmm.
And then, in the same breath, they're asking some pundit if Kamala Harris should go on Joe Rogan's podcast.
It makes you think, doesn't it, about why they made those choices. Are they trying to downplay Trump? Or are they just trying to, like, balance things out by talking about something totally different?
It's a good question.
Mm.
And it kind of goes with what Charlamagne says about CNN's panels.
Mm.
He thinks those panels, they usually just turn into shouting matches because, they have these conservative guests who just want to cause trouble.
Well, the idea of a panel, right,
Yeah.
is to get different viewpoints and have a real debate.
Yeah.
But Charlamagne's saying they end up being more about, like, sound bites than substance.
Exactly. And then he drops this bomb. He says CNN is sprinkling some MAGA into their programming.
Wait, what?
Yeah, because get this, he says MAGA makes money.
Whoa. So he's saying CNN cares more about ratings and money than reporting responsibly. That's a big accusation.
Yeah, it is. And it really gets to the heart of, is news a public service or is it just a business?
That's a question we all need to think about, for sure. Yeah, it's a tough question, right? Like, what comes first for these news channels? The news itself or making a profit?
That's what Charlamagne seems to be saying. And to prove his point, he brings up this incident, right? It was on CNN. One of their panels, there was this conservative commentator, and get this, he basically said that one of the other panelists, who was Muslim, was part of Hezbollah.
Oh, wow. That is a pretty serious thing to say. And it makes you wonder, like, what was CNN thinking? Did they know this guy might say something like that?
Yeah, and, CNN did end up banning that guy from their network. But Charlamagne thinks this is just one example, He thinks CNN keeps putting these extreme voices on TV just to get people watching and talking.
I see. So it's like, are they doing this on purpose? Like, is it part of their plan? Or is it just that they're so focused on getting viewers, they don't really care who they put on?
Right. That's the big question. Are they playing this game, or are they just kind of stuck in this system where the craziest stuff gets the most attention?
It's complicated, right? It's not an easy answer. But I do think it's important for us, the people watching, to understand how these things work.
For sure.
Like, we need to realize that there's always stuff going on behind the scenes, right? Economic pressures, political stuff, all those things affect what we see on the news.
Okay, so back to Charlamagne. It's not like he thinks all of CNN is bad, right? He actually says there are some good journalists there who are trying to do good work.
Oh, that's important. It's good to hear him say that. Because, it's easy to just say everyone at a place is bad, but it's more likely that there are good people there trying to do the right thing, even if the system itself is messed up.
Right, exactly. So it's not about saying CNN is this evil empire or that their journalists are all biased or whatever.
Yeah.
It's about understanding that the whole system, how it works, it can affect the news we get in ways we might not even realize.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I think that's a big part of what Charlamagne's trying to tell us. Like, don't just believe everything you see on TV. Be critical, ask questions, and don't be afraid to. Like, think for yourself,
Yeah, it's all about, being smart about the media,
Right.
Knowing how it works, the good and the bad.
Exactly. We got to understand all the things that affect the information we get. Not just, the news channels, but social media, too. All those algorithms and stuff.
So big picture, right? We got Charlamagne calling out CNN. Maybe they're putting profit over real reporting. And he's got issues with how they cover Trump, their panels, the whole thing. So where does that leave us, the people watching?
Well, it means we got to be careful, right? Don't just get your news from one place. Look around. See what different sources are saying. Compare them. See how they're talking about the same stuff.
Don't get stuck in an echo chamber.
You
got to see different viewpoints, even if you don't like them.
That's it. It's about being like an active participant, not just sitting there and absorbing whatever they throw at you.
So think for yourself. Question things. Don't just take everything at face value. That's what we're all about here at Deep Dive, right?
Absolutely. We're trying to give you the tools to, like, be a better consumer of information, to
Yeah.
understand how it all works, and to make your own decisions.
Deep Divers, we appreciate you joining us for this deep dive. Don't forget to like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And let us know what you think in the comments. We're always listening. Until next time, stay curious out there.